Creativity is a strange and fickle energy. There are times in my life where I felt that I was cut off from my powers. And I think part of that is that when you get older as an artist, you start to realize that some of the places where you transmitted energy from don't work for you. Unconsciously, you decide to stop transmitting from those places, whether it be sorrow, melancholy, whatever the fuck, anger, frustration, loneliness. These things don't go away, but I think you get older and you stop going to those sources only. And I think then what happens is intellectually you decide to stop recording from there. But I think emotionally your body doesn't know where to go to next. And you get those points where you feel like you can't make anything. You think you can't bring anything out. And I think a big part of that is just you have to reteach yourself how to transmit from somewhere else. And sometimes it's scary and you don't really want to do that. And that can sometimes manifest in writer's block, in feeling like it's over for you, like you have no more skills, like you've plateaued. I think that's what that looks like for most people, but as artists, we interpret all these things literally within ourselves. And I think a good way to get around that is to just realize that and be okay with starting over, finding a new power source, because frustration cannot fuel you forever. Loss cannot fuel you forever. Heartbreak cannot fuel you forever. After a certain point, you decide that you can't keep going to that for the creative energy. And I think it looks different for everyone. We all transmute from different things, and we all go into different pathways after that. At least for me, that's how it was looking. I had a portion where I wasn't making music, so I decided to do something else. I think unconsciously what happened is I found it was easier to transmute from the new point of interest, being, self-respect, self-love, honesty. And I found that it was easier to transmute that from a place that I didn't have such a connection to. I had such a connection to music and to transmuting my pain through music that when I wanted to stop transmuting just pain, I couldn't do it through music. So I started painting and drawing, and it became easier. And then I hit the similar roadblock where it was like, oh, now I'm just using art to transmute these old things again. And I think I had a period where I was so conflicted with being unable to transmute from a new source through those mediums that I decided, you know what, maybe it's time to go back to music. So I went back to music, and now I'm at the point where I can transmute different ideas through music. I can talk about my relationships and my friendships and experiences I've had without that adage of loss and sadness, I think that's a huge thing, is being able to understand that you can't draw from the same source forever. You gotta draw from somewhere else. And when you draw from that new place, it takes some getting used to. You learn a new skill, you're not going to be good at it immediately. It takes time to figure it out. And that's the same for finding out that you want to write songs about different things, that you want to paint different things. It takes time to transmute from there. And I think this is the thing that no one talks about, because it's very esoteric. They're getting very woo with it. They're watching me do this shit. One day I'm not going to be here. And I'm going to be somewhere else because I learned to transmute from a different place. I'm not transmuting from the same places that brought me pain and anger and judgment to my own craft. And I think that's a huge part of growing as an artist, just learning to accept finding inspiration elsewhere. Because anyone can find inspiration. You can go outside and find new things to care about. But learning how to write about those things, learning how to alchemize those experiences into something that you feel confident delivering, I think that takes time.
How you feeling?
Hooray, hooray, I shop. Hooray, 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 hooray. That's how we stay.
Yeah, really good. Baby Star just finished. The Emmanuel Church. What else is there to say? What else is there to say that already hasn't been said? Well, babies suck. That's true. Zion. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Bro, I had to see this. How you feeling?